Hey guys, I thought I'd make a quick review of the LG Spirit I've been using for a week as my daily driver. I have to say, the phone is excellent. If you do not have a real need for a flagship device, something like this should tend to all of your needs. So let's start with the design. For me, the phone was perfect in regards to its size and weight. You can see it's a very compact size phone. The screen diagonal is 4.7 inch, which for me is basically the top border when you can really use the phone one-handed. You can hear a lot of talk about one-handed usage of, I don't know, phones from 5.2 to 5.5 or up inches in screen diagonal, and I have to tell you, I've used some of the phones which have basically up from 5-inch screens, and you can't really use them one-handed. You sometimes have to reach menus or buttons which are in different corners, and you cannot simply leave the phone as it is and just swipe your thumb or move your thumb and get to them. You have to shuffle the phone up and down, you have to reach two-handed. So basically I would say this is the ideal device for someone who wants to really use the phone one-handed, like this. For instance, you can write text messages, instant messaging, anything you might need. The phone itself is made of plastic. There's no escaping that, but the design is very nice, and I believe the use of plastic has helped to keep the weight down. This phone weighs just a little under 125 grams, so it's really light. You put it in your pocket, you forget you have it, so I like that as well. So we're coming to performance. I'm satisfied with the screen brightness, I'm satisfied with the look of the user interface. I would have to say LG has done well in regards to software on this phone, as obviously it doesn't have some features which this hardware couldn't endure. So basically the phone performs very well. The user interface is smooth. There is some lag from time to time, but basically that's the case with all Android phones. And I don't know, I've tried playing some games. CSR racing runs smooth, no problems there. The battery life isn't too long. Basically after a day I would have, I don't know, 30% of battery left, so I couldn't just go to sleep and use the phone next day to go to work again. I would have to charge it overnight, but that said, it should keep you lasting a day without any problems. Next thing on the list is the camera. The camera itself is not bad, the quality is quite nice, but basically it's very poor in features. So this is a sample shot. Keep in mind the light is not perfect in this room as it's night and I do not have any professional lighting. So as I said, you just have a couple of settings here. Whether you want the grid, you've got a timer. One of the maybe more advanced features is this voice shutter. You can say any of these words for it to take a photo, and you have settings regarding the quality and the megapixel count of the image you take, whether it's a static image or a movie. But basically that's that. There aren't any modes. There is no HDR mode, there is no night mode or anything else. You have the front facing and the rear facing camera, and that's that. If you want to take a shot, you just do. There's of course the flash, and nothing else really. So are there any drawbacks? Well, of course. There aren't any major drawbacks for me, as you have to keep in mind this is a mid-range device. You shouldn't expect any extraordinary features, but basically I think they should have put an notification LED somewhere here on top. That's really one of those things you do not take into consideration, but when you don't have it, you really miss it. So basically, if there's no notification light to tell you if you've got any missed calls or missed messages, you have to open the phone and see for yourself. One other thing I had a problem with was the Bluetooth. I'm not sure if it's up to the phone, but I have a car radio which has Bluetooth connectivity. So sometimes when I take a longer ride, I take my phone, fire up the Bluetooth, and stream the music from the phone to the radio itself. And I've never had any problems with the reproduction of music. When using this phone, the music sometimes stuttered, and I'm saying sometimes, it's quite often. So basically I'm not sure why that is, but if you count on Bluetooth reproduction of music, maybe that's something you should take into consideration. One thing I really like in this phone, I know that's an LG trademark, but this is a mid-range device and I wasn't sure if it was going to have it, and this is it. Tap to wake and tap to lock. This is a really handy feature. When you use it after a couple of days, you just take any other phone and try to wake it by tapping, and that's not always the case. You cannot count on other manufacturers doing that. So I would say that's another feature I like. Basically, I'm very surprised, pleasantly surprised in this phone. For a more than moderate price, it gave me everything I needed. What I would say are the drawbacks is, as I said, the Bluetooth music reproduction, the lack of notification LED, and maybe battery life could be better, but I really wouldn't say it's bad. It's just that some phones I've recently had on test performed slightly better. Other than that, I believe you should take this phone into consideration. It should be simple enough for even basic users and advanced users who aren't in need or in a position to buy a more expensive flagship device will certainly be satisfied using the LG Spirit. So thank you for watching my review of the LG Spirit. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.